Hello and welcome back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. Welcome to everyone who's new. If you are new around here, g'day, I'm Pom. Please like, please subscribe. Make sure you turn the notification bell on so you can get notifications whenever we upload. We upload 3 times a week. We are starting the live streams again at this point this week, where there'll be a bit of FIFA content, a bit of gaming where you can come and just hang with me. That'll be cool. We also have the live stream started last week as well with Faz. Faz is back. We do some watch-alongs of a variety of sports. It's usually the round ball, but moving forward now, 2022 is sport galore. We'll be doing a lot more. Good day to the returning Pominozers, though, the very special people who allow us to do wonderful things. If you do want to become a member, Brett Osborne just recently joined. These legends here scrolling below, they make this channel tick. We sponsored Domaku, which is really fantastic. So there'll be a lot of special content with that. And also, if you are the kind of person who likes your sports prints, you want to do your sports room, your bedroom, kids' bedrooms, we do footy prints and all sorts of sports prints. And we give one away every month. All you've got to do is comment. So without any further ado, the AFLW just... we got our first dub, the first dub of the year for Carlton Girls and Carlton Football Club in general. We took down the Geelong Cats by 14 points, 31-17. So let's review that game and see what went down there. Well, I think first and foremost, one thing that did impress me about the girls was last week, my bugbear, well, the week before, was this long direct approach. That wasn't there so much, particularly in the defensive half. Kez Harrington was absolutely spectacular in her game. She was supremely dominant. Was old Haz, the captain, 23 touches coming from her. And I thought what really impressed me with her was she was a brick wall. Nothing got past her, but it was her ability to attack the ball hard on the ground. And I think what really impressed me was the short ball movement. We know that I'm a real stickler when it comes to ball movement. I like it short, I like it quick, and I like it fast. And a bit of a cheeky grin there from Pom. But it was a lot more pleasure to see, for me, to see that the handball was almost 50-50 to kicks. And there was a lot more handballs in short and in space, which was creating the space in behind, which I thought from defensive 50 to midfield, we moved the ball impeccably well. I couldn't really fault it. Again, that inside 50, though, entry, for me, is too long. It's too long. It's too direct. It's too predictable. I did think Geelong struggled with it, partly because of their talent, as opposed to Collingwood, who were a lot more prolific in that area. And we saw what Jordan Allen did to us last week. This week, they didn't have quite that player. That is a concern for me, but a win's a win, isn't it? I did think, though, that particularly the short, sharp movement, the willingness to take the ball by hand, there was a lot more bounces, a lot more taking the game on. That is where this girls' side is good. I think makeup-wise, that is where these girls can compete with pretty much anyone in the competition, particularly, though, when you've got the backline it is, which there is a negative stat, but let's focus on the positive firstly. That makes a lot more sense to me. We didn't have Walker there because of illness as well, but that is where I think when you add her to the mix, and then when Egan comes back, that's where they look good. Now, to the negatives, I think they rely way too much on the backline. That backline had to deal with a lot of inside 50s and a lot of pressure. And this time they did it. And this is a little bit like my issue with the men's game. They kind of rest on their laurels with this. And it's a bit like the England cricket team. The batting's always been an issue, but we've kind of got ourselves out of a hole with the bowling. But on this occasion, it doesn't happen. When the bowling's not quite there, the batting's exposed, and it's the same with this because the inside 50s were almost identical for Collingwood and Geelong. Difference is we handled them better, and the exits and entries, our entries outside of D50 were a lot smarter. Our rebounds were a lot smarter. That won't always happen, though. The pressure will come from a better side. There would have been a bit more sustained midfield pressure, which then I think you would have seen the issues we had. Moving forward, what I think these girls need to do is they really need to get used to that forward line. Taylor's not there, and you can see that the forward entries are set up. And that is a concern because the competition gets harder. The doggies are next. They haven't been playing well of late, so you'd expect them to bounce back at some point. That is where the crux for me will come in because I can't implore enough. Structurally, them entries inside forward 50 are disgusting. Really easy to deal with, which then in turn puts more pressure on the back line. And defense wins championships is the old saying. But there's a bit more to it than that. It's not as simple as having a good backline. Pressure eventually unlocks backlines. It doesn't matter how good you are. Whatever sport you look at, whether you look at rugby, whether you look at soccer, particularly AFL, sustained pressure breaks down walls. Carlton Girls showed that in the first quarter. Pressure eventually opens a door. You knock on a door long enough and hard enough. Moving forward, what the Carlton Girls, I think what Half needs to do, because it's not the Carlton Girls, I can't fault their effort and intensity. He needs to look at an extra touch. There seems to be, and I want you to go back and watch the girls play, particularly in the first half. It's almost like once you cross the square in the centre circle, if you don't kick it inside 50, there's an issue. And there was loads of times, there was great moments in the third quarter where Vesio is running alongside the carrier. She's won out. It's a handball over the top. The kick goes to full forward. Happened about 3 or 4 times in the second half. I would say about 9 of our entries, there is short options. Huge issue because short options win. And you saw Geelong do it. They kicked inside 50. It's Carlton's bugbear. Collingwood did it a few times. Carlton Girls aren't looking for them options. This week, the leading patterns were a lot smarter as well. So it's obviously been touched on somewhere in the dressing room. Whether that's a player-led thing, I don't know. But definitely, for the girls to keep targeting the goal square says to me that is a preordained strategy. And it's going to spell disaster because there's no way Kez can play like this. This was her best game, her record for disposals. It's not going to happen. Records are a one-off. It's the pinnacle. So that is my issue because she was phenomenal on the ground as well, not just aerially, but she was phenomenal on the ground. It's not always going to happen because the Geelong girls didn't meet the attack of the ball. That is my concern moving forward. It was good in patches, but there's still 25%. And I think that does come from the structure of how the entry is made, but also where the setup is. Because the movement ahead of the ball, and go back and watch some of the entries, is really, really stellar. It's really good. You'd be excited if that was the men. But it's not being targeted. And that is where the messaging from the leaders and the coaches of this group has to be lower your eyes, go for the short option. It's almost like it's been ingrained in them. And that is a worry for me because against the doggies do have a few girls down there that can cause us trouble and look to get that intercept going. At the moment, it's the doggies on the Sunday night. The week after as well, we've got the Roos, and they are very specialists in that. The next 3 games for Carlton girls are tough. The doggies, the Roos, and the Crows. As it stands at the moment, COVID and whatever else is thrown our way. But all in all, it was an accomplished performance. The attack on the ball was good. Maddie was phenomenal. There were some really good takeouts as well. Jess, she's really coming into her own as well for Carlton. Jess Good, she's really starting to look a sort. She just needs to get there. Georgia G was spectacular in the 4th. Courtney Jones is really exciting me as well. And seeing Dalpos as well get into positions, being used. For me, she is the key to the inside 50 entries. Lucy and Abby were phenomenal again. There's a lot of key takeouts there. And Madison Prasparkis, again, 29 touches are gone. There's a lot of great individual performances. My girl Elise was phenomenal. Just needs to come together. That final third is holding us back. If they can find it, and I'm confident they can, because the rebound 50 entries exits were absolutely phenomenal this week. Absolutely phenomenal. Can't fault them. They have massively improved. This week, I'm hoping they're on the track with their entries inside 50. If they can get that leaked, it's solid. Well, let me know what you guys and girls think. I really enjoyed it. It was one of the more enjoyable experiences of 2022 for me. I know we're only 3 weeks in, but that was a nice joy to see. I'll be on the Blue Abroad show tonight, so come and check me out. Come and ask some questions. And until next time, don't see you through the wait, see you through the window. Pom out.